So with Call of Duty World War II releasing this November, someone had to ask the very important question: what will Call of Duty World War II do to the Call of Duty franchise? And in my opinion, I believe that it will bring it back to its roots. Not permanently, but for a very long time. We saw for the last, I believe, 4 years that we had futuristic Call of Duty games. I kind of count Ghost as a futuristic Call of Duty games because that's when the new movement started to appear. But so we had Ghost, Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare. Now we've got Call of Duty World War II releasing, and I believe there will be another 4-year to 3-year cycle of past Call of Duty games based either in somewhat, present day or in the past. I could see Treyarch doing a spin-off of Call of Duty World at War, or even doing a World War II, which would be very interesting. And I could see Infinity Ward going back to the Modern Warfare franchise and creating finally Modern Warfare 4 after just having released Modern Warfare Remastered. As well as that, it's said anyway that Modern Warfare Remastered is going to have a separate release, which is going to be very, very interesting. But yeah, it does really raise the question, what does this mean for the future of Call of Duty? And like I said, I believe they will go back to their roots, but not permanently. I believe that to make a Call of Duty game one day soon you have to innovate, and the new movement system added was an interesting thing for a short time, but people started getting sick of it in a way. And I believe they're going to try and innovate with something else, and I believe the Nazi Zombies mode in Call of Duty World War II could kind of be a catalyst to what will happen. And it will be interesting to see if something changes within the main game, not just in a third mode. And I could see Infinity Ward bringing back Extinction and improving on it, making it much better, sort of stopping zombies, because zombies is somewhat beating a dead horse now. It should just go back to Treyarch and stay with Treyarch. They did it best, and they always will do it best. Sometimes they have fails, like Transit and somewhat Zetsubo, but Zetsubo was alright, but big deal. They need to go back to Treyarch, and Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer just have to innovate by themselves. And something I can see happening again one day would be Sledgehammer joining back with Infinity Ward to create the 2-year cycle. But to be honest, the 3-year cycle was a good thing to happen to the Call of Duty franchise. Now we get longer time of development for the games, meaning the games can come out more polished, better, more interesting. And it definitely does give the creators of the game, or the developers, more time to develop the story of each game mode, if not, just zombies and multiplayer, because not multiplayer, zombies and solo, because I don't believe multiplayer has any story, integrated added into it, sorry. But I do believe that this will take Call of Duty back to its roots, if not for the next 6 games or the next 3. I want to believe that Call of Duty will stay this way, but I know for a fact that if they want to keep selling their game, they'll have to innovate in some way, because it will not work any other way. And I wouldn't understand their mentality if they were to go straight back to futuristic Call of Duty games. And I know that I don't know, but I believe that Treyarch's next game is already in development, and they would have heard about Call of Duty Modern Warfare, or not Modern Warfare, World War II, and they would have seen the popularity of Modern Warfare Remastered, and they might think to themselves, okay, it's time, we're going to go back as well. And that will influence Infinity Ward again, seeing how their sales of Call of Duty, Modern Warfare Remastered would be higher if the game released separately compared to Infinite Warfare's, and it would just become just a new cycle. And it's kind of the cycle and the circle of life of Call of Duty. The games influence each other. You saw the slide ability, or the slide maneuver. It moved over into the rest of the games. Say it started in Ghost, it went to Advanced Warfare, then moved to Black Ops 3, which was interesting. And we saw how the Dolphin Dive, for some reason, didn't affect any of Sledgehammer's games or Infinity Wards. They started their own system, but then Treyarch copied it. And I believe that's going to be the new thing that happens every year now. And we saw how the Dolphin Dive is returning, which will obviously take influence on Treyarch's next game, because they were the Mac Daddy, or not the Mac Daddy, but the Papa of the Dolphin Dive, of which would be exciting to return, meaning PhD could return. That would kind of, influence the next game of Treyarch. If it has zombies in, it was PhD will return in that game as well, because of its popularity. Like I said, it's a circle of Call of Duty, and it will happen. And unfortunately, I believe that with zombies, if it's popular next year with the Dolphin Dive, I do believe that Infinity Ward will kind of look at it and go, you know what, we're going to copy that again, instead of bringing back Extinction and try and, make sales on zombies and make it more like Black Ops 3, where unfortunately Infinite Warfare Zombies kind of failed. It felt too much like Black Ops 3, but they tried so hard that it became unpolished and, just not really appreciated as much as it should be. And I'm not going to sit here and say I absolutely hate Infinite Warfare Zombies, but I do not think it is up to par with how it, could be. It really is underwhelming compared to, just other things. And it really does need some improvements. I'm hoping that the third DLC brings some improvement, and maybe the fourth one kind of puts a pin where it should be and say, you know what, this is Infinite Warfare, we've established our zombies mode, this is different now. I want that to happen. Call of Duty World War II Zombies is going to be very different as well. We've heard it's going to be sort of like Dead Space. It's got an ex-developer of Dead Space, I believe, on the team, which will be amazing. And it's going to be a very horror-based game mode. Not even sure if it's going to be first-person or third-person view in the game, which is going to be really nice. It's going to be something that feels more exclusive than Treyarch Zombies, which I really, really am looking forwards to. So basically, in my opinion, Sledgehammer this year has done everything right with Call of Duty. They've sort of balanced competitivity in the game. They've added a new exclusive version of Nazi Zombies, their own take, their own spin on the Nazi Zombies formula, of which would turn it into a horror thing. And I really am not hoping that they do the same with the next Call of Duty game. I mean, I know Treyarch are going to use their zombies, which is fair, but the Infinite Ward game after, if that has zombies again, then there's going to be a problem, I believe, because it's starting to be a dead horse. Treyarch can do it because it's their thing. It's been their thing forever. Ever since, I believe, World at War. But like I said, Infinity Ward did it, didn't sell well, and a lot of people have begun to hate the thing because it felt too much like Black Ops 3, something we've already done. And I know that Treyarch in the future will obviously innovate on Black Ops, or the next Call of Duty game, Zombies, because I don't think it will be Black Ops 4, maybe Call of Duty World War 2, or a spin-off of that game, or World at War, but a spin-off of that game, sorry. And it will be very interesting to see where it goes, because Zombies, like I said, is somewhat dying, and Call of Duty in general is dying as well. Call of Duty World War II has had very positive reviews on it, and I'm really hoping it delivers on those reviews and delivers on how much hype it has gained. But unfortunately, as with hyping up games and with hyping up any game, once it releases, there will be disappointment, and that disappointment will affect sales. Unfortunately, this is what happens in the gaming industry. Games like Crash Bandicoot, this is why remasters work very well, because we know what we're expecting when remasters come out. So Crash Bandicoot Remastered, we know what we're going to get, we know what's in the game, and some new features which hype it up a bit more, of which will be fun. So you can do that with remasters. Remasters you can hype up all the time, but new games that aren't remasters on a completely new IPs, you cannot expect to hype that up and expect the people to be happy with how much you've hyped it up, especially if you only show a cinematic trailer. I'm going to say that right now. I'm kind of spinning off topic here. This is mainly about where Call of Duty is going. So yeah, basically, moral of the story is, I believe that Call of Duty is going to stay in its roots for at least another 4 to 3 years, maybe even 6 years for the next 3 games, or the next 6 games, sorry, but who knows. I personally believe that's going to happen, but if you guys disagree, make sure you comment what you think will happen, and just, do everything you can to try and convince me otherwise, because, I like other people's opinions. I like hearing them. They're fun to, read. I might get salty at some of them and kind of, try to force my opinion on you sometimes, but I try my best not to do that. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications, because you will not be notified that I have uploaded very often if you do not, and I would really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one. Peace, and thank you so much for watching. I have got to go. It is 34 degrees. I am dying.